Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new story. And I don't know about you, but I was always petrified when I was on Zoom class, especially when it first hit, like during March of 2020, and we all went on Zoom. I was terrified that, I was going to forget to mute my mic or really leave the meeting and just have something really embarrassing happen. Or I don't know, maybe I'm on Zoom call or something and my mom yells up something incredibly embarrassing and I'm just going to those are a lot of fears. Thankfully, though, I'm basically done with Zoom classes and none of that stuff has happened. However, though, I have two stories today of some very, very, very unfortunate Zoom fails that will make you terrified to ever go to Zoom class ever again. So sit back, relax, leave a like on the video for $1 billion for a small loan of $1 billion, which is pretty cool. So leave a like and let's just jump right into it. So anyways, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this first story, we're going to call him Homer. And I'm calling him Homer because I'm calling the second subscriber Bart. And I like themes like that. But anyways, right, so Homer is in Zoom class. And this is like beginning of fall of 2020. So it's like it's 2020 on to 2021. So they've been on Zoom class since March. And anyways, he's in one of these classes and it's like one of these participation English type classes or whatever. And there was another girl in Homer's class and we're going to call this girl Alice, right? So anyways, Alice is just, Alice has a boyfriend and her boyfriend is just this random guy who happens to be on their football team. You might be thinking like, Connor, why are you giving me this like extra details? Like you're always giving extra unnecessary details. Yes, stuff like that, right? No, you don't understand. These details are very, very important. These are extra necessary details actually, because you know what? I'm not going to spoil it. You're going to have to wait and see. So anyways, in this day during an English class, Homer gets there a little bit early and, Alice gets there as well. And she says, hey, like teacher, like I have a doctor's appointment or whatever. I got to go 20 minutes early. And the teacher's like, okay. I mean, I think at some other times teachers might have wanted like a doctor's note or a note from a parent. But at this point, the teacher isn't really going to make a stink about it. Like he's just like, we're all on Zoom anyways, like whatever, right? Who cares? So yeah, things were going pretty smoothly. And then eventually it is time for Alice to go. So it's just in the middle of Zoom class. She looks at the teacher and she waves and the teacher kind of while teaching like mid-sentence kind of waves back and then goes back to, saying whatever the teacher was saying. And Homer kind of is spacing out. He's not super paying attention. He's kind of on his phone. However, he watches as Alice does not leave the Zoom call. And Alice, at this point, Homer's very confused because, what he sees Alice looking very intently, smiling, waving, and then almost putting her guard down. I don't know about you guys, but back in the day when I had Zoom classes, I'd always be freaking exhausted after being in a Zoom class. For some reason, like, it would just take all of my energy out of me, even not even like normal classes. Like, yeah, I guess I can be kind of like mentally exhausted sometimes, like from normal classes, but not anywhere near the way I got after Zoom classes. Like, it was really weird. I can't 100% explain it to you guys, but I think a lot of other people experience the same thing. I mean, let me know in the comments if that was true. But anyways, she kind of had that look of like, oh, okay, kind of that relieved look. However, Homer was like, well, does she not realize she's still on? Because Alice kind of pushes back in her chair and takes out her phone and is very clearly like looking on her.
Connor, the shampoo bottle's stuck in my butthole again. Can you help me out?
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. You guys heard nothing. Don't question it. Don't question it. Anyways, interruptions aside, Homer was watching as, Alice, like, was very clearly leaning back in her chair on her phone, like, as what you do, like, immediately after you were done with a Zoom class. So Homer kind of realized, like, oh, like, Alice didn't realize anything. But, I don't know. Homer was just kind of watching the whole thing. He wasn't trying to be an active participant. So that's when Homer was watching. And he saw the door behind, because like the way that Alice was positioned was like the door to her room was like behind her. So he notices Alice like pick up the phone. She's muted. I don't know why she's muted, but didn't leave. I'm assuming she like meant to hit the X button, but accidentally just hit like minimize or just entered a new tab or something. I don't know how these things happen, but apparently these happen kind of frequently because I've gotten a lot of stories about this. But anyways, this door, she's on the phone and she's talking and she looks like smiling or whatever. And that's when she turns behind her and they see the door open. And remember earlier in the video where I said like, oh, like she's dating this like jock guy on the football team. Well, the jock guy on the football team that was her boyfriend, he goes through the door. And at this point, Homer starts to realize, oh, this might be actually really bad. Because like the jock guy walks in and like he immediately like hugs her from behind and like it's all like, oh my God, we're dating and we're in high school. This is the craziest thing ever type, whatever, right? And Homer's watching as this guy, he gave her a hug or whatever, but Broden stopped being handsy. He just went right. Yeah. So let's just say things got awkward very quickly and other people were starting to realize, and someone actually unmuted and said, hey, Alice, you're still in the Zoom call. But for some reason, Alice was not responding. And at this point, right, how do I say this without YouTube getting mad at me? So, I mean, this part isn't that bad, but you guys will understand this is kind of awkward. So, yeah, the football player kind of like, I don't know, like kind of turns her around in her chair and... Anyways, just assume with your dirty little imaginations whatever you want to assume. I'm going to leave it up to you so I can't get in trouble. It's up to you guys to get in trouble. Yeah, but anyways, at this point, Homer's like, oh my God. So anyways, right, probably some of like Alice's friends are texting / calling her, but her phone's on like do not disturb and is like face down or whatever, so she doesn't see any of that. People are now talking in the call or whatever, and like the teacher's like, how do I remove someone again? And the thing is, right, the teacher was still pretty, like, incompetent when it came to Zoom, which I can't really blame them. However, let's just say that this is good and bad, and you'll understand what I mean in a second. Because things escalated incredibly quickly. However, the escalation that would have been really, really bad happened off camera because Alice's bed was not directly in sight of the camera. Thank God her mic was muted. However, it was the most mortifying thing. Like everyone there was just like, holy, oh my. Yeah, everyone was just sitting there and they were just like, oh my God, dude. Like, oh my God, like, is this actually happening? And Homer's kind of like turning around. All the other kids are looking at each other. Yeah, let's just say it was big bad. It was big bad spaghetti-o. Yeah, it was not. It was not great. Yeah, so they're all sitting there. The teacher's like, "How do I remove someone? How do I remove someone?" Because like while they were off camera, they were still like a little bit on camera. And it was just so awkward. It was just so bad. The teacher's just yelling at the class like, how do I remove someone? Someone who's good at this. Come on, quickly. Like, we got no time. This girl, like, unmutes her mic. Is like, you're going to want to go to settings. And then you're going to want to... And she's like, where are settings? Where are settings? And then Homer's just like, oh, my God. And you see half the people, like, a third of the people have, like, their hands over their mouths. One person's, like, completely turned away. One person is kind of weird, has their phone up recording the whole thing, which, like, bro, I don't think you should be doing that. Other people are like texting on their phones, and it seems like the friends of Alex, so I think they're just like spam texting, spam calling. Eventually, though, the girl who is talking with the teacher is able to tell him how to remove them from the Zoom meeting, and the teacher's like frantically going around. And real quick, comment down below Zoom if you made it this far into the video. That'll be the secret word of the day, Zoom. I'll try and heart a bunch of comments to say that. And then also, if you really do want to support the channel, literally the best thing you can do is just watch another video after this one. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, the best thing you can do is just to sit down and binge watch my old videos after a while. It boosts the channel. Please let me know in the comment section how many videos you watched this week or today, or also what you're doing while watching my videos. I don't know. I really like reading those, and I'll try and heart and respond as many as I can. Anyways, so the teacher eventually figures out what went wrong, and he's like going through, he's like, oh my God. And eventually he's able to remove Alice from the meeting. There was like 10 minutes left of class. This whole ordeal took like 5 to 10 minutes out of it. That's how bad it was. That's how bad the teacher was with the Zoom tech right here. And after like Alice is removed, it's just like the teacher is just like, all right, guys, I'm sorry for that distraction. Let's go back to talking about, because remember, this was like an English discussion class. So he's like, oh, so what did you guys think about, I don't know, chapter 7? It was dead silent. It wasn't that people didn't have any thoughts about chapter 7 because the class actually read the books or read the Spark Notes. I don't know, man. And, but the thing was, Dude, they weren't talking about that because they weren't thinking about that. You think anyone could be thinking straight after what just happened? Bro, some girl literally fill in the blank on Zoom class, dude. Like, of course they're not going to be paying attention. Are you crazy? So, yeah, what ended up happening is just to jump to the chase a little bit here, or to skip to the chase. Alice did get in trouble. However, apparently she did not get in trouble for anything that like happened. Like it wasn't like a indecency charge from the school. It was just like getting in trouble for lying to the teacher, saying that you're going to be somewhere and very clearly not being there. Presumably, like Alice just wanted to see her boyfriend as soon as possible. So instead of like leaving, just waiting 20 more minutes before class ended, she wanted to see him immediately as he got there. So she's like, oh, I need to go 20 minutes early. So yeah, she got in trouble for lying about having to go to a doctor's appointment. And I don't know exactly what that was. She wasn't expelled or suspended or anything, but it was pretty bad. It was like the worst punishment you could get without being suspended or expelled. Because yeah, I mean, lying about where your location is a pretty decent offense. And yeah, word about what happened spread really, really quick. And let's just say that that was kind of just like the story of the year. Unfortunately for both Alice and her boyfriend, that was the story of the year. So jumping into the second unfortunate Zoom situation story, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted it Bart. Get it? Because like Homer's the first one, Bart's the second one. Anyways, so Bart was in a I think it was like Spanish class. It was a language class, and Spanish is pretty popular. So let's just say he was in Spanish class, and they were having a quiz. Which during COVID, I could never understand why anyone would have a quiz that has to do with like memory recall, if that makes sense. Like they were having a Spanish vocab quiz. Like, dude, you can just go on your phone. It's Zoom class. I'm not saying you should cheat, but the truth is everyone is going to do that anyways. So the teacher's just like, guys, please don't look stuff up. Like, you're going to get in trouble if you do. And if I see it, like, I'm not going to be nice about it. So just please don't. Either way, everyone still did. I'm sorry, teachers. If there's like teachers watching this, I hope you realize the reality was everyone... They had to look. Here's the thing: if everyone else in the class is cheating, you're doing yourself a disadvantage not to do what they're doing. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying I did it either, because I didn't, and no one else. The classes that I was in during Zoom weren't like the quizzes or tests or whatever. It wasn't like recall, so you couldn't actually cheat on them. They were smart about it, so that's why I don't get it. But anyways, yeah, basically everyone was. But during this one Spanish vocab quiz, someone was a massive idiot. We're going to call this guy Ben. Ben was like the dumbest person on planet Earth right here. That should be the title of this video. Dumbest person on planet Earth, but that wouldn't do as well as whatever I titled it. Lol. But anyways, so the Spanish test is given out, and it's a Canvas quiz. And it's literally just fill in what a word means. So it's given you in Spanish or it's given you in English, and you have to give the opposite, right? And the mics have to be on, cameras have to be on. So if you're like blatantly cheating, he'll be able to catch you. So, yeah, Bart admits to me, because he doesn't want his name or whatever leaked for obvious reasons, but Bart admits to me that, yeah, he was, and the rest of the class was just going on like Google Translate. However, Ben, when he wanted Google Translate, let's just say he did a little oopsie, because, the guy legitimately here's what happened. You know, on Google Translate, there's a little microphone, like a little speaker button. Yeah, he accidentally pressed the speaker button. So it was like he typed in the English word, and it just like blasted out like the Spanish like word from like a computerized voice. And at this point, everybody looks up. And Ben is just like, his face goes bright red. He pretends like he didn't notice anything. But it's, you know, when like on Zoom, when you make a noise and your screen like lights up or whatever. So the teacher's like, he's like, Ben, are you serious? Because the teacher kind of knows, yeah, some people are probably cheating. But dude, are you serious? Like, that's the one way you could get caught. And Ben's like, that's unrelated. That came from a different room. And the teacher's like, dude, that was one of the answers. That's the Google Translate voice. Are you serious? Like, the teacher was mad, but he was almost mad at Ben for being such an idiot while cheating. Because now he, like, had to turn him in. And Ben's like, dude, it wasn't me. The teacher's like, I'm not trying to get any of you guys. I'm not trying to get any of you guys. But if it's clear that you're cheating, and this teacher starts going on, like, a rampage. Like, if you're doing it so blatantly, I have to. So he's like, Ben, I'm sorry, you're getting a 0 for this assignment. which in the big picture wasn't that bad because the teacher could have also like reported him for like academic dishonesty, and that could have been like really bad on his transcript or whatever. He just got a 0 for this quiz. However, Ben was an idiot and started like arguing with him. He's like, dude, it literally wasn't me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is unfair. This breaks my constitutional amendment rights to, I don't know, some BS, right? And the teacher's like, Ben, I'm going to give you a 0 on this, and I'm not going to turn you in for academic dishonesty if you shut up right now. That's like verbatim what the teacher said, or at least that's what Bart told me in quotes over on Twitter or whatever, wherever I got the story. I kind of forgot, Instagram or Twitter. And, you know, at this point, Ben is looking at the teacher and he's probably thinking in his head, okay, do I like fight this or do I just like accept my fate? And Ben was smart enough to just be like, okay, like, I'm sorry. Because if he kept fighting with it, the teacher might have changed his mind and decided to not just only give him a 0, because the screen, but also report him. The class is recorded. Dude, okay, that was like Ben not only being an idiot for playing the sound in Google Translate, yeah, he also, it's just like, it was also recorded. Why was he fighting with it? There was like literal proof.